Gaffes, Graft, and guns. The last family feud. There is only one way I can stomach watching a presidential debate. I must have Alex Jones acting as my surrogate ranter, while the horror show plays out in front of my unbelieving eyes. And thankfully, for my blood pressure, Jones was mostly up to the occasion recently. That said, Hillary Clinton's tenuous relationship with the truth, responsibility, and common decency still had me in high dudgeon, to say the least. And the least is really what I can say about all of these debates. They are nothing more than scripted advertisements for globalism masquerading as a YouTube of a dysfunctional holiday dinner. Because under normal circumstances, these are truly family affairs. Two unabashed traitors to the U.S. Constitution slugging it out over who should control the lion's share of the scraps of the federal budget left over after all the truly unconstitutional stuff like Medicare, Social Security, and the servicing of the ever-growing mountain of debt are paid for. This time, however, it is truly different, and Donald Trump, for all his myriad faults as both a communicator and a candidate, is the wild card. He's like the prodigal, crazy uncle come in from the cold to tell them that there's a mob outside with their name on it. And the mob is ticked off. Big time. Huge. During the appetizer, they squared off on the Supreme Court's position on guns and abortion. Wow. Two losing arguments that won neither of them votes, but kept things, mostly civil. As courses were served, Trump kept banging at the family with why the mob is so angry. No jobs, worthless money, no savings, high debt, imported crime, etc. And Hillary's response, epitomized by her cool smugness, was to treat him with benign neglect and continued forced smiling for the webcam. I was surprised she didn't say, "Well, bless his heart," in a fake high Southern accent, before refusing to acknowledge her guilt and going on with her prepared speech about some little girl she met somewhere whose parents she ripped off. The host, Chris Wallace, tried desperately to keep the discussion focused on the issues near and dear to the family, but Donald refused to be silenced. He repeatedly reminded everyone at the table and online that she was unfit to lead and that the mob outside was right. The turning point was her trying to pivot away from the Clinton Foundation's graft and greed after sounding like a lunatic for 10 minutes trying to connect Donald to Putin. To prove to everyone that she knows how to be a leader because, she has experience in government. She dismissively explained to the entire world how the decision to use nuclear weapons is handled. In other words, in her desperation to lead a mob she openly despises, she proceeded in a snit to divulge classified information to the world, thereby proving to everyone she has neither the temperament nor the judgment to actually be president. Now, it's not like committing treason isn't a time-honored presidential tradition, like, lying us into war or selling military secrets to the Chinese, right? But I don't think I've ever seen it used as a campaign talking point. After that, the host realized that he was backing a losing horse and stopped openly assisting her. Chris Wallace repeatedly tried to interrupt Hillary's perorations of hormone babble throughout the final courses, virtue signaling that Uncle Donald was okay and should keep him in mind for the future. In fact, after the party was adjourned, Wallace was joined by others in the media, realizing what was obvious to those watching and ranting, that the family is broke and the mob isn't going away after throwing them some leftovers. Don't believe me? Uber Trump hater herself, Megyn Kelly, attempted to save her career by cornering DNC chief Donna Brazile over emails proving collusions between it and CNN to influence a town hall meeting back in March. Brazile went from dead-eyed buffalo, to quote Hillary herself, to stuttering hyena in the time it takes to microwave the popcorn you're eating while watching this train wreck. Like a lot of reality shows, the series ender was a bit of a letdown. It did what it needed to do, neatly tying up most of the plot threads, but it also left us with the nagging feeling that none of it was worth it.